Good morning. It's Tuesday, 4 o'clock a.m. On my way to the gym right now. Feeling good, feeling great, feeling energized. Matter of fact, went in the room, scared the hell out of everybody. Started jogging in place real fast. I don't know why I did it. I guess I was trying to show them something. I was like, look what I'm ready to do. Anyways, great day. It's actually raining outside right now. We're in Arizona and it's raining. Weather's starting to change. I guess that means that the mindset has to start changing as well, right? If the weather can make a change, then I guess we can too, considering everything is a direct reflection of our creation, right? Computer, the car, everything is a direct reflection of our creation. Keep that in mind when you think that change isn't possible, because those things are evolving constantly, and they're evolving out of a sense of our thoughts. I got up and I felt like super energetic. I'm not going to say that's going to be all the time. Hopefully that is the case, and that's what I'm working towards, conditioning my body to constantly be ready for anything that comes my way, physically, energetically ready for anything that comes my way. And what I got to thinking about is, there's this guy named Stuart Wilde, and he wrote this book called The Infinite Self. It's 33 steps to regaining your inner self. The guy sounds like the dude from the Geico commercial, the Geico little thing, which is hilarious, so I love it. But he was studying this one skill called Taoism, and I'm not 100% familiar with it. Maybe somebody else is. And a lot of it had to do with checking the ego, getting the ego in check. Now, remember, I had just did a video, I think yesterday or the day before that, about how the ego is the ego is this person. The ego is the one that when you say, hey, man, that would be a good idea to create that rubber band that held that piece together right there. Your ego is the one that says, nah, if it was a good idea, somebody would have already did it. Or nah, it's already exists. Don't waste your time. And the ego's also the one, I gotta roll this window up, it's raining. And the ego's also the one when you say, I'm gonna go to the gym. You get to the gym, a week later it says, I don't see any results. You sure this is working? The ego is that little voice inside of you that is always contradicting what you want to do. And for some reason it wins out. The ego has been around forever. It's like that cousin who don't ever have a job, but is always hanging around you. And when you buy something, they feel like you need to buy them something. And then the moment you tell them no, they get a fucked up attitude. That's what the ego is. That's what the ego is. I promise you. I promise you. And at some point in time, even you got to cut that cousin off. Even you got to cut that person off and say, dude, I've been dangling your legs in the air long enough. We're done with this. So what he says is, part of his Taoism or his training was to do things that made the ego mad. And one of the things that his teacher had instructed him to do was get up every morning at 3 o'clock, and this guy is like from England, get up every morning at 3 o'clock and go walk through the forest. Now you might be thinking, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't know, and I've been listening to this guy for a while. I've been listening to the same, trust me, I listen to the same audiobooks over and over and over again. I read the same books over and over again, and I always get something new from them. Why do you think people have been able to read the Bible for the last couple hundred years, and they read it every single day and every single Sunday, and they get something different out of it? Because they've evolved, they're changing. And when they change, they start discerning things differently. No different than a baby. Baby goes from eating just Similac. It can't digest solid foods. But as it matures, the baby can start digesting solid foods. But it's a gradual process. The same thing with reading and understanding and coming to terms with things. So I'm finally getting to the point to understand why this guy said go through the forest and walk around early in the morning, because the first thing the ego's gonna say is, dude, are you retarded? We could be asleep. Not only that, we can be doing something else. Why is we walking through this forest looking like some fools? You got to get the ego in check. You got to eventually cut him off. He's always going to be there. He's been there too long. And he ain't going to go easy. The ego is not going to go easy. It ain't going to go without kicking and screaming. as if you did something to it. But for some unknown reason, the ego just wants you to take the easy way out. The ego will do anything to stop you from getting to that next level. So when I got to thinking about it this morning, I got up and I said, I'm kicking the ego's ass. Because there's no way in hell he liked getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning sharp. He damn sure didn't like getting up at 2:53. Because I set it back 6 more minutes so I can get some time for meditation. The ego doesn't like the fact that I'm going to the gym and working out. Instead of telling myself I don't see results, I'm telling myself, dude, you looking good. You're looking great. Matter of fact, I took pictures before and after and during. And I look at them and I reinforce it. So the ego's getting, the ego in me is starting to see that, man, maybe this dude ain't, this dude is changing. When I start making the phone calls and the ego says, man, you ain't got to make these phone calls to these people. They don't, they ain't got no business for you. And I start kicking his ass again. Then he says, shit, dude, man, go and stop at that fast food restaurant and get you something to eat. Ain't nothing else around. Nah, man, I can wait. I'll go into this grocery store and see if they got something nutritious and healthy that I can eat. Kick his ass. You got to kick the ego's ass. Because the ego's been around long. He's been around longer than this little idea you come up with. I want to lose weight. I want to make money. I want to be successful. I want to stop eating like this. I want to budget my money. All these ideas that you come up with today, the ego's been around longer than that. He's not going to let you go. He's not going to let you get away with it easy. The ego is not going to go quiet. You have to do things that forces the ego to be at bay. You have to do things that makes the ego stop and say, hold on, this guy's serious business. What I'm learning is that if you don't take what you say serious, and if you don't hold to what you say you're going to do, then the ego has already won. Then the ego says, I knew you weren't going to do it. I told you weren't going to do it. Now, come on, let's go get this cheeseburger. Let's go drop this $100 on this weed sack. And then let's get up a little bit later tomorrow for work because, shit, they need us. Get the ego in check. And I'll tell you a couple ways how you can do that. Do some things that are absolutely going to piss it off. And you might think I'm saying this because it's going to piss you off. Well, I got to get up early. It's not the ego, it's me. No. You can get up early. It's the ego that wants you to stay in bed. You can save your money. It's the ego saying, man, it's only $5. Tell the ego it's $5 compounded by 12 months times 20 years at an interest of 7.8% compounded. Tell him it's $10,000. That'll shut him up. The ego always wants you to look at it and see it's small changes. You got to get your ego to see that it's bigger changes. That's the only way you're going to shut the ego up, and that's the only way you're going to progress forward is by shutting the ego up. The only way you shut the ego up is by doing things that it absolutely hates. Drag it through the dirt. Drag it to the gym every day. Wake its ass up at 3 o'clock in the morning like your mama used to do. Get up. I'm on my way to the gym in the rain. 4:10 a.m. Tomorrow I'm going to be out at 3:50. I'm going to get out the door at 3:50 tomorrow. And I'm going to have a better day. I'm already preparing for tomorrow. God bless. Peace out. Kick the ego's ass.